Hello, my name is Simon Freitas. I'm one of the co-hosts of the Freitas Effect podcast. You are listening to Conversations with Creatives, a collaboration with Entropy Theater for Entropyfest. We are theming emergence. Entropyfest is a celebration of local emerging artists in the New England area. The Freitas Effect is hosting on the weekends of May 20th through the 22nd and the 27th through the 29th. Ticket information is going to be available in any social media that you can possibly think of all of our gosh darn artists for this event. If you're listening to this episode, you are probably finding a way to find the tickets. If not, just look in the description of this episode. But anyways, enough about me. Let's learn about the artist Electrix. Please introduce yourself for the audience to know you.
Hi, my name is Electrix. I am a burlesque performer based out of Portsmouth, New Hampshire.
When did you first identify as an artist?
Personally, I knew that I wanted to get into the art world when I was about 11 years old. I saw my older brother do his senior play was Aida, and I saw that, and that was my first musical that I ever saw, and I just knew right away that I needed to be involved in something like this. So right after that, I knew I wanted to get involved in theater, and I got into acting and started figuring out how to become an actor. And then fast forward to now, I realized that my main passion was dancing. So what better way to mix acting and dancing than do burlesque? And that's kind of how I ended up in burlesque.
So how would you say you found your path into the arts world?
So specifically, when I knew that I wanted to do burlesque, I started Googling what my options were because I really didn't know anything about it yet. So I found out there was a group in Boston that did amateur competitions for burlesque performers. But I think it was September of 2018, I joined this competition, not knowing anything at all about burlesque. And I just went in and I did a very, a very interesting routine to the song, Man, I Feel Like a Woman. And that was how I got into burlesque, and that is how Electrix was born and made her way onto the stage.
Oh, that's awesome. Was it a paying competition or?
I think I had to pay a fee to get in, and then the winner, I think, got $100 as the prize. I really love the idea of just like intimate settings, and burlesque is a great opportunity to just get close with your audience and really have that audience interaction, and you really get the audience involved in what you're doing. And so that's really exciting, and it's a way for the audience to almost like fuel what you're doing, and the more they cheer, the more it helps me like boost my energy and get super excited about what I'm doing on stage. So that's like the best part about it.
I love that because it's like that the transition from theater into dancing, like, you know, there's such a connection there. And then with burlesque, like it's so intimate. So I am curious, how have you educated yourself to hone your skills?
So I actually, when I was Googling and looking for burlesque in the Boston area, I found a school called the Boston Academy of Burlesque Education, or BABE for short.
Hey, babe.
They offer 4-week intro classes, and each week it's like an hour-long session. Each week they focus on a different thing. So I think one week was like boas, another week was gloves, leg work. I think the final session was pasties and learning how to do tassel twirling. So that's really fun. But so I started with that. I took the intro classes, and then I actually got to meet their headmistress. Her name is Miss Mina Murray. And they call her the queen of the fans because she does these fabulous fan dances. It's really wonderful to watch. So she kind of became my mentor, and I worked with her as an apprentice for about the whole year of 2019. And I was helping her closely in Boston, just working with her and some of her other troupe members. And yeah, it was just a really great way for me to see firsthand how they rehearse, how they put on a show. And I really learned most of what I know from burlesque from her specifically.
Oh, that's so great that you were able to find a mentor down here. You mentioned that you're from Portsmouth. Did you have any kind of a dance training up in New Hampshire?
No, so actually, I was living in New Hampshire and traveling to Boston, all my burlesque training and such. But at the end of 2019, I made the transition to a group in Portsmouth. So now I perform with a group called Lady Luck Burlesque, who is out of Portsmouth. Um, they are also such an amazing group of women. I love them so much. And that was just really great because it was closer to home for me. I don't have to make the crazy traffic Boston drives anymore. So that's a plus. But also, it's easier for me to be in the New Hampshire area because I also went to school here. I went to UNH for acting. That's been a big help in my burlesque too. Like bringing in a lot of those acting skills that I learned is a big part because burlesque is not just about stripping, it's about you're telling a story and you're really every piece of clothing that you're using becomes a piece of the story. Having a background in acting has just really been a huge help to help me succeed in burlesque. It's really just a really big part of it that not everybody thinks of right away.
That honestly, that's a connection I don't think I would have put together of how all these different parts, like, like I always think of dancing as like, you have to use your whole body, but I don't usually think of the clothing. Like that is because that's still a part of your body. And then like when you're watching Magic Mike, like and someone takes their jacket off, it's like, oh, like something's happening there. And then you see someone with a boa, like, and it's like going around. It's like, oh, wow, that's flashy. Like, it's like every piece of what's on stage is something you want to look at. So like I resonate with that. Like that. Well, have you considered experimenting with any other types of art forms other than acting or dance?
When COVID started and we weren't able to be performing on stage, I actually got into boudoir. So this boudoir is like it's intimate photography. So I started doing boudoir modeling, which was a way for me to continue to show myself on social media to say, hey, I'm still here, I'm still active. And it was just a really nice way of networking, meeting new people, and just still being able to promote myself while I couldn't physically be performing on a stage. The other cool thing that I haven't had the chance to do yet, but I would really love to do is burlesque to live music.
Oh,
Yeah. So the idea of having a band, you can even share the same stage, like a band playing while I'm in front of them doing my burlesque act while to the song that they're doing live. So that's a pretty fun idea that I haven't had the chance to do yet, but would definitely love to do.
what style of music are you thinking?
Definitely something the more classic type stuff, jazz feel.
Because I'm just imagining like someone like dancing around, like messing with the trumpet player, like.
The one other thing that I've always thought about but have never quite done either is like a clowning burlesque act, because burlesque originally was comedy, like it was people doing slapstick comedy on a stage, and it wasn't what it is today where it's women dancing and removing clothing. So I always thought that would be a cool idea to do a comedic burlesque.
So would you like to tell us about what you are presenting at Entropyfest?
Yeah, so I am performing a burlesque piece, and the idea for this piece came from basically a little bit of my own past personal experience. I recently, within the past few years, got out of a unhealthy relationship, and it was one of those instances where you just feel like you lose a piece of yourself, and I had lost my confidence a little bit. Since that happened, I've just spent a lot of time working on myself and trying to just gain that confidence back. This piece that I'm going to perform, it's just really about finding that power and taking that power back for myself.
Yes. It's so great because it's like it's using your body. It's like showing the world, like, I'm fucking me. Like, I am here. Like, you know, you can't take this away from me, and I have the power. Yes, I'm going to empower you as much as I can with this. Other than this piece, is there anything else that you are currently working on?
Nothing that I can officially talk about at the moment, but my group that I work with, Lady Luck Burlesque, we are working on some upcoming shows. Those have not been announced yet, but they will be announced soon, and you can look for those. They will either be in the Portsmouth area, or we also travel up to the Portland, Maine area as well. Ogunquit is one area we go to. So just definitely from New Hampshire to Maine is where you can look for us.
So where can people find your work, or where can people support you, like online or that are not in Portsmouth or Maine or New Hampshire?
So I do most of my networking on Instagram. So my Instagram is at Electrix Burlesque. That is my name with burlesque following it. And I basically just post all my updates on there. It's really where I show a lot of my boudoir. I show some snippets of pieces that I've been working on, or even pieces I've performed on stage. So that is just where I post most of my updates on anything that I'm working on.
And then is there any advice that you would give for emerging artists?
I would have to say, follow your intuition, what you think is what you want to do, and don't be afraid to take risks, and just keep looking. Like, there's always people out there that are willing to help you, that want to help you succeed in what you're interested in doing. So just keep learning, keep following your dreams. Like, anything's possible. I never thought I would be here doing what I'm doing, but here I am. So
Yes. The artist's dream coming true. We are here. We are existing. We are on a freaking podcast inspiring the future artists. Great. So I'm so grateful that you were able to take the time to join me here today. You know, this is going to be such a great festival, and I'm so excited for this audience. You guys better be here May 20th through the 22nd, May 27th through the 29th, the evening show. That's when Electrix will be here. Is there anything you would like to say to the audience before I say goodbye?
I hope I see you there.
So do I, guys. You better be there. If you can't be there, you can make a donation. I will try to do my best in the future. Future Simon, please, God, make a donation button somewhere in the episode description to Entropyfest. But otherwise, see you guys at the show, and have a great rest of your day.